Hi everyone, welcome to our first episode of Building the Brand. Each week we're going to cover topics that really define what a good brand is, or really, frankly, a shitty one. But today I'm going to talk about assholes. To all of you nice people out there, I am going to dirty your YouTube channel. So why assholes, and why do assholes matter to your brand? Well, let's take a step back and discuss really what a brand is, right? A brand is the sum of experiences that you have with either people or a product. People don't buy what you do, they buy into what you believe, and people want to work with organizations that share their values. How do you identify an asshole? First, which is the trick that I found works actually more than you would expect, is the question of, are you an asshole? And everyone knows in this room that I think every one of us has been asked that question. And more times than not, most assholes will admit that they are assholes. So start there. But it's also about the organization as a whole. I like to believe that most people are not assholes, or at least intentional ones. So we all know what happens if someone isn't really working well in the team, or there's a little bit of a relationship conflict. And they start to do a little bit of backbiting. They start to be a little bit passive aggressive with the other person instead of really not being a coward and facing up to the point of giving the person honest and constructive feedback. Well, I hate to say it, if you're holding back constructive feedback, unfortunately, you are being an asshole. And I think it takes work. It takes work every day as leaders to nurture and make sure the clicks aren't happening, to make sure that team members are being brought in. Team members that aren't necessarily contributing the way they should deserve that feedback. They deserve the chance. So there's two real issues. First, protecting the organization from hiring assholes or getting rid of assholes quickly in the organization. But then second is making sure good people don't end up acting like assholes when difficult things happen. So we talked about the certified asshole and keeping them out of your company. We talked about how to prevent your company from becoming one giant asshole. But let's talk about, okay, more effectively, how do you prevent it? It starts off with yourself. Don't be an asshole, okay? Don't be an asshole. Respect your team. Give more than you take, okay? Stop hiring assholes, or at least ask the question in the interview, are you an asshole? Go as far as something we did internally is made no assholes a core value. It is actually our first core value in our handbook, and it's in print, and it says no assholes. Hire behavior over skill. Skill is great, and you need great people. But I believe that great people have both the behavior and the skill. Encourage open and constructive feedback. At Sacunas, we do something that's a little bit simple. It's a straightforward survey. It's a 360 survey with the last question saying, will you recommend this person? Yes or no. And we use that as a mechanism for feedback and open feedback. Develop your culture every day. It's not just a management issue. It's everyone's issue. Everyone contributes to the culture. Everyone owns it. You have to hold your management team accountable. Although I said it was everyone's job, if your management team, it starts with the management team, and frankly, it does end with the management team. So if your management team isn't being held accountable, isn't driving the culture, fire them. Before I go, I wanted to share a few books with you of what inspired our culture in this line of thinking in this first episode of Building the Brand. The No Asshole Rule by Robert Sutton, The Go-Giver by Burg and John David Mann, The Virgin Way by Richard Branson, and finally Work Rules by Laszlo Bock. Thank you, everyone. And another one of our core values is share love. So if you like what you heard, please let us know below. Share it with other colleagues, friends. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Adam_Vasquez. Thanks again, everyone. We'll see you next week.